Happy faces. All right. Publish. Right. We've let everyone in. Shit. All right. What up, everybody? What is up? How are we doing? Sorry, a bit of a change in the date. It's a Friday instead of a Thursday. I apologize if that caused some of you and your universes to change altogether. But appreciate you all jumping on board. This one's going to be a pretty light one. We're going to do a quick walkthrough. I want to share something exciting and then yeah, open the floor up for any questions that you've got and then let you enjoy your weekend. We've got, I think we had almost 300 of you sign up for this, which is super exciting. And I'm going to try and make it worth every single minute of your time. And of course, let us go ahead and get this at the bottom right corner. Unlike me asking you all where you're from, keep it PG, and I'd love to know what your weekend plans are. Drop it in right in the chat. Let's get that popped and hot. Yay. There's no way none of you are not doing anything on the weekend. Don't be that boring. Right, who wants to start? Akash, you want to start? Just drop it in the chat. Let's see what's up. What's up? Can people comment on the chat? Why is it so quiet? There's no issue. There we go. Fixed deliverability. Nothing special. All right. Learn Smartlead. I will ignore the S, Lyle. It is my pet peeve. I tried buying the domain smartleads.ai, by the way. Not available. I tried buying smartleads.com, by the way. Not available. Australia, chill. Hey, David. You odd man online at 12 a.m. just like me. Nice, Leslie. Thank you. Feedback is champion. Love. Netherlands here. Awesome. Love lead. A bunch of lead gen household. Gotta love it. Okay, all the nerds just working. All right, fine. I'm not gonna ask. UFC.
UFC.
Who's on? I didn't even know UFC was on. All right. We'll keep the energy going. Along with you popping in what you're doing on the weekend, I want to know where you're from. We usually have a global audience all across the world. Looks like we've got some from the Netherlands, we've got some from India, some from Georgia over here, some from Europe, Scotland, St. Louis, Missouri, London in the house. Let's go. Band for band. All right. Do you have fake comments here too? No, I don't have fake. I don't have fake comments here. I don't think we've reached that layer of life yet, but hopefully I never need to get to a point where I need to get fake comments in. But no, not yet. Gang, Medellin. All right, we love that. Did I pronounce it right with the Y, Medellin instead of Medellin? Have you watched? I'm sorry that I have to ask this. I know that's not what everything that the city is about, but Akash, have you watched Narcos?
Yes, sir.
On Netflix. Well, love it. One of my favorite shows. Very gory, but pretty good. All right, everyone, we're gonna make another 1 minute, and then we're gonna kick off. And like I said, Medellin. There you go. Oh, Medellin. Oh, Gene. All right, I didn't know that. All right, thank you for culturaling me a bit. Thank you for that. I also thought it was Medellin. This is the thing in my mind. Well, thank you, Grant. I guess we will go ahead and pass this information to our own team that we need to seed comments in. No, we don't unfortunately seed comments in yet, but that's going to be a very interesting message to send to the team saying, hey, everyone, show up and say something on chat. All right, we're going to kick off. Howdy, everyone. Thank you for jumping on board. We didn't have a call yesterday, but we're having a call today because most of the team was offline yesterday due to a public holiday. But we are back in the zone today. The tax may be delayed, but the tax still happens. So we will start. So welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm going to brief you all on what the webinar is about today. Yeah, the title is nice and exciting, which is the secret to booking 500 demos monthly. I've had the pleasure of speaking to some of you or some of our customers who are doing some crazy numbers. 500 is actually a pretty low number. I was actually speaking to one of our users, which I actually posted about on LinkedIn. They do 25,000 meetings a year. So 500 is a bit on the shyer side of how they do it. It's about 2,000 a month from when we look at their numbers. Serious volume, obviously, but we spoke to some other customers doing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 booked meetings a month. So some pretty nice volume. I just put 500 because It's a bit more believable than saying 5,000. But I'd love to sort of share a bit of that. Along with that, I want to just talk about how you can use one or two of the new things that we released for you all to make your life easier. You definitely will get the replay of this right after that. And don't worry, before the call even goes too crazy, and I want to be respectful of your time, it is 12 o'clock my time, 12:06 actually. We will try and make sure we have everything covered in the next 14 to 15 minutes and then open the floor up to all your questions and keep it punchy, punchy, punchy. Cool. Before I say that, Akash, is there anything that you want to cover? Otherwise, do you want me to sort of take a bit of lead and bounce stuff with you?
Right. So the 500 meetings per month people booking is great. But before we do that, Vaibhav, if we can also talk about the new feature release we have, which is auto detecting your prospects time zones. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can
awesome.
probably start from there. Yeah.
Great. We'll start from there. So a lot of you wanted this ability to go ahead and create 2 o'clock now. So a lot of you wanted the ability to go ahead and stop creating multiple campaigns with different time zones because it can be quite annoying. We do have some very large users who target people across the globe. So for that, we basically have released, has been in testing. I know I've yanked on about it, but it's been given to only a few people. And what that does is when you upload a CSV, you can go ahead and put a new column, which is called time zone, and map it. And we'll give you the time zones. By the way, it's not live for a lot of you. It will be in on Monday, because we want you to enjoy your weekend, and we don't want us to break things on the weekend. All that will do is, if you've uploaded 100 leads and you put 3 separate time zones, effectively it will send emails to those leads in the time zone that you've set in the campaign. So let's just say on the campaign you said 9 to 5, right? And on the campaign level, you've done EST, which is Eastern Standard Time in the US. But you've uploaded leads as well, where you put IST and British Standard Time. So what it will do is it will send to leads in 9 to 5 and that local time zone. So that's kind of what it does. It removes the necessity of like having 5 separate campaigns. Because the issue with that as well, what we realize is when you have 5 separate campaigns, Akash, you would know this, attest to it, is now the mailboxes have to be shared across 5 separate campaigns.
Absolutely.
And then what ends up happening is like that minimum time gap issue that comes in place. There's like overlaps and all the jazz. So this was just an easy way to fix it. So a lot of you can do this pretty much Monday onwards. We'll pump it up on Slack so you're aware of that and you can kick off and you should be good to go.
Absolutely. And just to add on to this, one other thing is, you also do a lot of work by the time you're list building. So although it's manual work in Smartlead, you also organize your leads, you put them based on the location, and then you upload it to each of your campaigns. But now it's solved, and I wanted to start with this because a lot of you have jumped on a call with me, asked for this, and this is being pushed out. So
yes. So yes, keep eating Akash's head because he eats our head and we will get it live. So thank you for that. I appreciate it and duly noted, and it's done. On that note, I do want to also speak about some of the new things that are going to be coming out this week for you and the week after. But why make it so easy? We'll just take a few minutes more of your time and walk you through that piece. So maybe let's just jump into the thing that we spoke about, Akash, which is understanding what we've learned, speaking to a few people on what they've done, getting meetings come through the way it is. We'll obviously hide the names for obvious reasons. But this user, you probably know just what I'm going to say. But firstly, good news for all of us in August of the 17th of August. Deliverability is beautiful. People are back to normal. Things are going great. 14 to 24% to sometimes 30 to 40% reply rates coming through. Heated and hot. June is gone for now, but I'm sure there will be something like that will come back in a few months again, because that's what happens in the industry. We see something like that happen every 3 to 4 months, then things pick back up very, very easily. We're obviously we've learned and we've come up with a few mechanisms to improve that and prevent and make sure your life is better moving on. But so step number 1 as to what we've learned, 14% reply rate. No, this is not out of office. This was just with the guys and girls who've hit just normal 14 to 25% reply rates, just from people showing interest or telling them to F off or whatever, but it's normal replies, not oh. Cool. With that, Akash, you've seen this as well. We've spoken about it a fair bit, which is a lot of AI copy seems to be doing really, really well from the people who have done, who are doing successful on the platform. Obviously, the common mentions over here will definitely go to our good friends at Clay, where a lot of people have been using Clay to go ahead and create extremely personalized campaigns. And that has resulted in good outcomes because it's no longer even a concept of syntax or variables or so on and so forth. It is pretty much a function of the fact that completely new emails every single lead. Is there anything that you want to add to that, Akash, or are you pretty much in tune with what I've said?
In tune with it, but something I'd like to understand from your end, Vaibhav. So, can we call it hyper personalized? Can we call it like, apart from deliverability aspect of spinning your copies going out, should it be completely revamped? Just for insights for people, right? So,
Yeah.
is it a matter of hyper personalization?
I think so. At least that's what I've seen. But then I was speaking to someone else or someone on this chat or the other day. They said they are sending out the same copy to 400 people a day, and they supposedly are crushing it in that campaign, and they don't even have spin tax, or they just have like some stuff. But then what we realized when we looked into their campaign was their variable to copy or static copy ratio was extremely high. What
Right.
that means is they've not used like super personalization or whatever it is, but they've only got like about 25 words or 30 words in their campaign, in their copy. And out of the 25 words, like about 10 of them are variables, right? So by nature, it almost becomes like a
Whole
completely
new
AI
email,
written
yeah.
email, right? So I think that's the thing that we've seen when we've spoken to them is if you can't do click because maybe it's expensive or you don't want to use it, even though we recommend it, you can pretty much go very deep into a variable perspective and ensure that there's some standard change set up there. So I guess that's one thing for you all to be aware of if you're not doing that. The second thing that we picked up from the people booking more meetings, surprise, surprise, you send more, you get more. There's no two ways around it, right? Is the guys doing 25,000 booked meetings a year, they are pushing so it's on the higher side of it, but it's about 6.4 million leads, right? So obviously they do get an outcome of that. Lots of team members and lots of things set in place, but they do get results coming from it. That doesn't mean you spam everyone under the sun, but volume is a game. And Akash, is there anything that you'd want to add from your conversations around volume being directly proportional to, I guess?
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, this is a volume game. That's how it's been for me. That's how it's been for people I talk to as well. Because the kind of ratio we set, the kind of meetings we see getting booked, it always happens over a period of time. It always happens over a period of volume. So that's what I tell people as well. And it's not just for getting meetings booked. It's also to understand how current things are working, because you see a lot of people running campaigns for 1,000 leads and determining this is how it's working out for them. But even for that use case, I would say go a bit on the volume, do a proper test where you reach out to 5K leads or more than that, where we have substantial volume to know if this is the right pattern that we have. Are we doing things right, so that we can determine on something? So it's a volume
Fair
game at
enough.
the end of the day.
It's a volume game to even run your test because making a test out of 100 is not going to work well for you because I think right now at least the people I've spoken to on a volume perspective, they are doing one booked meeting, not like a positive one. Someone has shown up to a meeting, but every 100 emails, 100 leads reached out to. So that's the ratio that they're sort of working with. So if you've got a decent enough TAM, let's just say you got a TAM of about 1,000, you basically got 100 booked people showing up. That's sorry, 10,000. At 10,000, you've got 100 booked meetings showing up. So that's pretty good number to work with. 10,000 is definitely possible in most TAMs that we work with. Julian will answer your questions towards the tail end to help you there. But sweet. So we've sort of come to learn, which is obvious, but anyway, volume seems to be a conversation that has to be that people are setting up really well for themselves. The third thing, this is what I said I forgot right before the call, and I realized is something to focus on. Some of the people have figured out really cool ways to understand when their mailboxes, well, some of them, Nick Abraham is one of them that I've spoken to. Nick's got a really, really interesting automation setup where he can understand whether a mailbox is burnt or not on his API, webhooks, set some triggers, and so on and so forth. And then he's hooked into a bunch of vendors that he works with or so on and so forth to automatically pre-purchase mailboxes and get them warmed up. So the cycle of transition is extremely fast for him. So it becomes less about my mailbox is burned, help me recover it, change my will, but sort of accepting the fact that this is part of the game. And obviously you want to stretch it as much as you can. It's part of the game. And then he has an automation set up to basically replace the mailboxes at scale. So his clients are consistently winning and they're never seeing like a bad day. And if there is a bad day that happens or there's a dip, it's very, very constrained for a very short period, and then it's back up again. So that was something very interesting to learn, and pick that up there. This particular person is someone that we all actually look up to from the cold emailing space. Is one of the OGs in the market. Won't go into the names of it, but he shared an interesting insights. This is complete, by the way. This is complete hyperbole. It is an assumption. There is no data to back it. It's an assumption. I'm just putting all the TLDR there. It was an interesting insight, nonetheless. So the insight effectively is that it doesn't necessarily matter whether you're sending from Southeast Asia, the US, Singapore, or wherever it is in the world. Because if it's a Google server, it's a Google server. It will by nature do well. But the assumption over here was that we're looking on a tenant level. So perceptively, ESPs or email service providers are seeing is a Google tenant, as an example, sending out 70,000 emails a day, right? Which is fine. If you're working at a large company, you're probably sending out 70,000 emails a day. But if you work in a large company, those 70,000 emails probably get like about 60,000 replies, because it's workspace emails. But then what ends up happening is you're sending 70,000 on a tenant level, but you're getting like a very nominal reply rate. That supposedly was an observation made by them that had a correlative to the fact that you are seeing a drop in deliverability as a result of this. And this actually can be backed by another person who spoke about this when he came on Office Hours. His name is Aman Sajid. He's going to post on our Slack, where he said he saw some of the best results for him, and he was never affected by the June thing, because he was doing per tenant, one domain, one mailbox. Super aggressive. There's like hundreds of tenants, but he did mention that, which is why it sort of stuck in my head when this other person said the same thing. So that's just again, like I said, there's no backing, there's no thesis, there's no solid proof, but that was an assumption and something we came to learn through these conversations. Cool. I just want to speak about maybe one more thing as to what we noticed from people who gained really, really successful results on outbound copy. That is one of the most obvious ones that I saw. Not that one. Sorry, you're highlighting the same thing I am, Akash. So the one thing that those guys have basically mentioned was it's simple copy that works. Yeah, are you interested? Can we catch up? Can I share something? Can I share some information? Links still tentatively don't work, but some people still do them. But from what we've seen, soft copies seem to be working really, soft selling seem to be working really well right now, at least from the constrained set of people that we've spoken to. I want to be very upfront. This was not a large data set of customers. This was like about 9 to 10-ish large agencies doing really good volume. Those are the basic overlapping insights that they've got to share. In short, good infrastructure and rotating process, a lot of variation in their copy through AI or spin taxing or whatever it might be. Some key insights with respect to your tenants and the way you set up tenancy and so on and so forth. And another common factor we picked up is obviously volume has been extremely strong on a lot of these players, and they tend to push out really well. And what I guess one more thing I can point out is this came from Chris Fry, which was just at its core automation, right? Same sort of perspective is he's got so many things automated and the metrics set up the right way that he's always on top of the game, and he knows how to shift things around and effectively drive results whenever if he sees drops in results. In his case, he did not, but if he sees drops in results, he knows how to automate it and consistently also, strong variable copy, tons and tons and tons and tons of spin taxes. I don't think there's a single campaign of his where he's not got 26 variants set up for every single step of the way. So, oh yes, last one, sorry, fleeting thought. Two-step campaigns seem to be popular. That was an interesting insight for me, because I thought 3 was good, but people are sticking to just 2 right now. So yeah, that's what we've seen at the moment, at least. Been yapping a bit. Akash, is there anything that I've missed out or you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think one common question in terms of, so when I say 4-5 liners seems to be working for us as well, we understand it might vary based on what you're selling. It might vary based on the industry. Sometimes, that's some common feedback I get when I suggest 4-5 liners. It's fair that, sometimes what they're selling needs more, it could look spammy if it's going to be 4-5 liners. But again, as Vaibhav, to highlight what you said, this is what we've seen working. This is what has been working out for us. So just wanted to highlight this.
Fair enough.
And one other question, Vaibhav. So, just as a question to understand, when we're doing huge volumes, right, the infrastructure plays a vital role, right? So, is there anything that you'd like to add there on how we can set up the infrastructure?
Hey, look at you with the little cool. So that's a nice slide in. That's a great call out, and I agree with you. Infrastructure is the name of the game. I said this a while ago. I got a bunch of slack on this. But seems like that is the case. I want to talk about the thing that I said. I'll hold to the back. So, secret button test, whatever. Drum roll, please. So for everyone over here, this is sort of like a first note to all of you. You may not need, no, not you may not, you won't need to worry about your mailboxes being set up anymore. We've got that handled for you, but I want to be super clear. We've not just got that handled for you with respect to just setting up your own DFY, like Gmail accounts and all that jazz. We get it. The market is different. Different people do different things, and different people's like you. Some of you get success using some provider. Some of you get success using another provider. We'll make it super easy, right? What we're going to do is allow you to go ahead and effectively have a marketplace of mailbox providers in Smartlead that in 1 or 2 clicks will set up all the mailboxes for you, the domains for you, and everything done at definitely a more affordable price without you having to worry about going to multiple places. So this will be a call out for you all. So we're actually partnering with these people. You're welcome to check them out. We've vetted them thoroughly. We've spoken to them at depth. We've got feedback from customers perceptive to their responses, results, and so on and so forth. So we're going to be launching Google accounts with Inbox Automate. We're going to be launching private SMTP servers. That means this particular company will allocate a single dedicated SMTP server just for your mailboxes. That is MailReef. We've got one of the popular ones in the market that we've seen finally do really well. Not finally, they've been doing really well, which is Maildoso. And we've also got one more provider coming in. That is the one I'll be more than happy to unveil very soon. But we've also got Outlook accounts automated and covered for you as well. So the full spectrum completely taken care of and handled and sorted out. Could you partner with an Indian Google reseller? So these are the 4 people. You can actually check them out. Well, I've mentioned only 3. You can check them out. The experience is going to be extremely seamless and one clicky. There's nothing for you to actually worry about. We'll take care of everything end to end and ensure that your mailboxes are hot, warm, and ready for you to send. So the DFY experience will be completely handled and taken care of on Smartlead's side. You don't need to worry about having your infrastructure anywhere else. But the beautiful part, like I said, is diversification is key. Outlook had a moment a few months ago. Google had an Outlook a few months before that. SMTP had a moment a few months before that. So why not have everything done together? Inbox automates. So all the pricing I have not mentioned, but rest assured, it's going to be something that's going to set up for you as well. I'm not sharing a slide deck at all. This is going to go live within the next few days. So just FYI. If you're trying to buy like hundreds of mailboxes, then we're going to push that through. For anyone DMing me about anyone else and any other provider, we're only working with these 4 right now because after speaking to most people, these are the ones we think are doing really well in the market. They've shown the results for it. They've shown the support to take care of the customers for it, and they've got good results so far. So for anyone who wants to see this, you can watch the demo. The recording, and you'll know who I'm referring to. But again, to make it very obvious for y'all, we'll be very loud about this. Don't worry, you'll hear about it. We're gonna scream across the entire market. We've got Inbox Automate. Unlike others, they're not a reseller. Inbox Automate are a premium partner of Google, so you're going to be working with some of the best mail, IPs and so on and so forth. All of them hosted in the US. We've got MailReef that are going to give you dedicated and defined mailbox, IPs just for your SMTP sending. Super, super cool infrastructure. It's actually done by the team behind Warmup Inbox, one of the OGs of the warm-up space. And the founder is incredible. I've spoken to him, very technical, very in-depth, and they know what they're doing. Same goes to the Maildoso team. Maildoso team and Nikita are extremely, extremely intelligent people. They're good at what they do. They address things. It's a very tough market, as we know, but amongst everyone else, Maildoso has also been someone who's been working extremely well for our customers. And the 4th one, we're working with an Outlook provider who's going to give you mailboxes at, I guess we can somewhat talk about this one. You're going to be getting mailboxes exclusively on Outlook from our side for just $1 on our platform. And yeah, you're good to go. And just FYI as well, the perspective over here is to ensure that you're set up to win, and you're set up to win in a way not only on an infrastructure wise, and you're set up in a way to effectively win on a convenience perspective. So sweet. And there's Samuel. Why should anyone? I mean, you're in our webinar, so you can check our website out. Hopefully, that will tell you why we're worth it. Um, I will not go into pitch mode over here, but yeah, that's something that I'm super excited to set up with you all. It's been a lot of things. Yeah, $1 mailboxes. Yeah, per month. Yeah. It's been a lot of work on the background, setting up and wrangling these people, talking to them, and so on and so forth. No, they don't come warmed up, but that little secret I don't want to go through yet. It will eventually be handled for you there. But given this is going to be recorded and it's going to be on YouTube, etc., for now, the sauce that you get coming straight from Heinz is infrastructure ready to go in about a few days' time, and it'll be live, taken care of. You don't need to have separate accounts, separate credit cards, all of it in one single place. Obviously, the beautiful part is we're going to be blending that right and juicily with our email deliverability platform, which means some of you may have seen my post on LinkedIn across the fact that we are replacing open rates as a concept. I generally mean that. The new metric that we're going to be pushing for all of us to focus on is placement rates. I think that's a new thing. I strongly believe that's the thing we need to focus towards on. And I don't want to go too much into it for you all, but just know for the fact that you can turn off open rate tracking altogether. You can have complete access to your deliverability. You can have your copy warmed up, and you have pure, true insights as to whether your emails are actually landing in the primary or in the secondary. That's all done. Cool. We've handled it for you. We've heard you loud and clear. Deliverability is everything that you care about, and that's what we're going to be focusing on, and that's what you're going to get on that side. So yeah, that's the two things I wanted to share with you all across a bunch of other stuff. I think next week, Akash, on the note of that, is we've got freeze periods and time zone in as well. So someone wanted, a bunch of us wanted the ability to send between 9 to 11 and then 2 to 5. That's also taken care of. So you're good to go. And we've got some holidays coming up soon. You can set up freeze periods on that day. We're not going to go ahead and actually send out emails for that particular campaign. So that's also sorted out and taken care of. So a whole bunch of stuff that you'll see coming your way in the next few days or few weeks, including a CRM as well, as we spoke about. So that's going to come through nice. And I don't want to speak about the other one because I think that'll be fun to reveal to all of you. But yeah, these are the two ones I think I want to speak to you all about, and I think you'll enjoy a lot coming through in the next few days. The CRM is obviously going to be free. The other two options are going to be paid models for you to work with. Paid for obvious reasons. If you want something good, we need to make sure it's taken care of it, and therefore we need to maintain a pretty intense infrastructure on our side. So, and for those who are very concerned or want to know, when you create a campaign from Smartlead in about 2.5 weeks time or 3 weeks time, when we have smart delivery live for you all, we will run the tests on the background for you every 6 hours or 4 hours that you set up, and you'll get the reports of how your emails are actually performing across a variety of mailboxes from the US, different time zones, different places, different ESP providers. So you have an understanding of how those are working and taken care of. So yeah, that's that. Anything else that you want to mention or want to speak about, Akash?
Well, I think we covered the main parts, the feature releases, and we justified the title of the meeting as well. So the insight we've got. So
so hopefully it's worth your previous 25 to 30 minutes. And perhaps if you got questions, you're more than welcome to go ahead and pop your hand up, turn on your camera, and we will be more than happy to answer any question for you. If it is a support question, out of due respect of the fact that there's over 95 people over here, we will not be answering that. You're more than welcome to ping it on Slack, the support team, or perhaps even message me on Slack. I'll be more than happy to help. But if you've got any questions regarding what we're releasing right now, or perhaps anything you want to share, I'll be more than happy to have you on quote unquote stage and chat to you about it. So we'll wait, we'll see. And if there's nothing, we'll call it a day. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for people to go ahead and put their hands up, Akash, per you, if you were to go ahead and set up an infrastructure, what would be your bias right now for whatever outbound that you're doing? What would be your bias right now? Would you be Google only? Would you be Outlook only? Would you prefer SMTP? Is there a reason for that?
I would go Google Outlook, a mix of both. For my
Okay.
reasons, just to at least be on top of it. It's not only for performance, it's to see what's happening where, right? So I get to know which mailbox is causing problems if they are. And at the same time, I still got backup mailboxes as well. So since I've been using these for quite some time, I would stick to this. It's more reliable as well. But SMTPs are options I can explore as well.
Got it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Makes perfect sense. So yeah, sweet. I guess no one's got questions. So just a quick one for y'all. We got some nice fun shout outs for the vendors that we worked with. So I guess that's a positive sign and we didn't screw up. So it's great. So if y'all want to check them out, there's Inbox Automate, there's MailReef, and there's MailDoso. Solid people, technical team. They know what they're doing, and really, really cool things to come your way. Outlook provider will be announced once we finalize a bunch of things for y'all. Just for reference, we're not hiding anything. Just be completely clear. The whole perspective over here, as to be completely transparent, is so you're aware of who you're working with. All we're offering to you is convenience, and what we're also offering is effectively we've sort of negotiated a plan with them that is respective to you all and setting up your campaigns. So that was the whole plan over here, is so that you have access to the entire world's best infrastructure in a one-click experience. So when the Outlook provider comes out, rest assured, you'll see their logo nice and clean on the website. The experience is also not going to be something that's hidden. You will get to select which vendor that you want to work with and how many mailboxes you want to buy from that vendor, how many domains you want to buy from that vendor in a one-click experience. It's going to be effectively like a shopping experience. You come here, buy whatever you want, and it's done for you, and it's ready to go. Cool. The reporting, Richard, thank you for raising that. So for some of you, we'll see this impact come through. The analytics and the rate limits, yeah, you pay through Smartlead. The rate limits will basically be improved next week onwards. So that's a nice win for some of you. And as a result, you're going to see the analytics also change slowly, but very, very effectively. When I say slowly, I'm not talking months. I'm talking about 1 or 2 weeks. So yeah, that's all I've got. Have a beautiful Friday. Thank you for jumping on. And before we go through, I'll answer some of the questions those who want to say, can we transfer domains to having the managed? No, I don't think that's going to be capacity or capability. And I also want to be very upfront with all of you over here. Thank you, Francois. Take that screenshot and send to my mom. Just to be upfront with all of you, if you do buy these mailboxes and these domains from our platform through these partners, you will not be able to move them outside of our platform. The whole perspective over here is that you're getting a better deal. It will stay within the tool. So I just want to be upfront about that. That is the one restriction. If you want to kill the mailboxes, you can kill them. But beyond the whole pricing thing, because that's not the important part, effectively what our own vendors have told us is we have the data, and if we give you the mailbox, and if you log into that mailbox, then you end up having the OTP issue, the unusual activity tracked, etc., blah blah blah. So the best thing over here is for let these guys to handle it through the OAuth side of things and let that be handled. Technical question: does virtual machines remove fingerprinting? Want to do that for a client to work on virtual machines? How many emails should we join per virtual machine? Interesting. I actually don't have that answer. That's probably something a Jesse can answer for you, because I've actually never bought through a virtual machine. We've bought through VPNs, where we VPN through a Google or whatever, but we've not bought through virtual machines per se. Jesse would have a lot of stuff to speak about that with respect to fingerprinting, but I've actually never bought through VPNs. I know he has. No, we have bought through some VPNs in the past. Sorry, some VMs in the past when we had Puppeteer set up and we had a headless UI going through, but I don't have any data to back that claim as to whether it's better or not. So I don't want to give you the wrong answer there. But if you go back and look at, okay, Jesse recommended, yeah, if you go back and look at the video covered by Jesse, I just forgot that conversation with him. He covers a lot of that in extreme detail with respect to how you want to set up virtual machines, fingerprinting, when you also create what's it called, Puppeteer sessions to kill the session so that it's a completely dead session and there's no silent cookies, and you create a whole new session altogether and send out messages. He's covered a whole bunch of stuff there on a technical level if you care about it. Cool. Alrighty. Everybody, have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you. Good morning to some of you, good evening to some of you, and good night to a lot of you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend, guys. Cheers.
Have a good weekend.